Good day. So today I'm Shanie Boshoff and I'm going to speak a little bit and reflect together with you on digging deeper into values. So I'm super excited about discussing digging deeper into core or personal values um, and that whole journey. This journey started for me with Brightstar in 2017 with a life program and the freedom to choose my own core values from my broader Christian based value system was such a powerful, powerful journey that set me off another path in self development. So after that, to be honest, life went on, and it was only later that I discovered the importance of really digging deeper into my values. So up till that stage, I really made sure that I could name my values. And to be honest again, sometimes I needed some refreshment and had to look back at which one did I forget. When I made decisions, however, I didn't really always use my core values as my filter. I still had some work to do. So I had coaching on this. I read about this. I spoke about this. I reflected on this. And I started implementing, digging deeper into my values. And this really was also a very powerful and empowering journey for me. I'm still busy with that. And I think until the end of my days, I will be busy with it. Many people refer this as a value aligned or a value based life. Now, from the onset, just to take note of two things. The first thing is sometimes we get confused, and that may create a problem for us between a value system and your core values. So, a value system centers around convictions that we hold true, where personal values or core values tells us what we hold as very important, what becomes our specific mindset or decision filter. Some people refer to this as their guidepost or their light. The second thing is today we're going to jump over the first step of identifying and exploring your specific values. So if you still want any information in that specific on that specific step, please contact our Brightstar office and we can assist you with a wonderful program that would help you in that regard. So to live a life according to your specific values isn't easy because life happens. We start living our values organically in the beginning as kids, and then we step into different roles. And sometimes what happens is when we play those roles as spouse or partner or employee or parent, then our personal core values slips into a secondary position. But there's good news that you can actually align those. And when you do align all the roles you play and all the expectations of you with your personal values, then you know you are actually becoming a better role player in all those different roles. So after you've explored and identified your core values, I'm quickly going to give you 4 actions that you can use to step deeper into your values. The first one is reflect deeper on your values. Now, Brene Brown, the world-renowned writer, has developed a very simplified exercise she calls living into your values, and it's based in a book, Daring the Wild. If you Google search this, you will find that many companies and many coaches uses this without really even acknowledging it at times. Now, in that exercise, she refers to 2 values. You can only look at 2 values according to Brene at that stage, and she's asking different questions that you can use to reflect. I'm going to give you 3. The first one is, what are 1 or 2 behaviors that support your value? So to say it in another way, are there scenarios in your past where you've demonstrated this value that you can identify? The second question is, can you give an example where you really fulfilled the value and you felt amazed about that? How did you feel and act in that situation? And then the third question she asks, which is very interesting, and you have to think about it for a second. What are one or two slippery behaviors outside that value of yours? One or two slippery values that are outside of that. That was reflecting on your values, the first action. The second action then, vet your values. Highland and amongst others refers to this. They all call it something else, but it means that you go to someone that you really trust and then you share your values. You ask them value questions. Which values do you see? Do I really demonstrate each day? Tell them about what you identified as core values. And then you have a discussion about that. Where are the similarities? What do they see differently? Why do they see it differently? It's about feedback, conversation, and deeper understanding. So in Brightstar, we always say you should identify someone that respects and supports your values and that celebrates you. Brene Brown refers to this as identifying that person, but then adding this question: what does their support to you actually look like? That's digging in a little deeper. So that was where you share your values with someone else. The third action is affirm your core values by accepting and acting upon them, going over into action, especially in big and small decisions. So if you've identified your values, you now need to keep them in the forefront of your mind, on top of your mind. In any upcoming discussion, conversation, activity, decision you make, it's as if you need to look at what values are at work and then lean into those. So one of my core values, in my core values, I use that as a filter. I also name it my personal filter. If I look in the beginning, I only identified personal growth as my value. And that really led me to being overwhelmed because I wanted to grow in any book, any YouTube video, any Google article, any whatever about human behavior and personal interaction. Self-care really took a dive with that. So I realized I had to clarify and deepen my understanding of that. And I chose to then name it focused personal growth. So I still have FOMO, but when an opportunity comes for personal growth, I see whether it aligns to my goals. So is it focused enough? And then don't despair. I actually do have the freedom to then decide, perhaps I should broaden my specific focus or goal a little bit to include this very exceptional growth opportunity. But that's what I mean when I say I use it as a filter. And to be honest, we all know that there are other factors that also filters in when you make decisions, not only your core values, but core values should form an integral part in that. Coming to the fourth and the last action, that is checking in on your values by tuning into your emotions. So in moments when you feel great and you feel awesome, look and see how your value aligned. But there are also moments when you could feel awful. And then you should check in and see, why are you feeling like that? And quite often in those cases, it's because someone overstepped the boundary that you drew in the sand on because you had that specific value set. So just a short example. I actually, to be honest, felt a little bit irritated with my husband, who decided to learn German lessons online through, I can't remember what app. Most of the time he was sitting there with his earphones on and doing that over and over again and not leading to anything as I could see. I would have thought you would then discuss it with someone in German, you would grow with that, but he just listens and he does his homework. So then I found out why I was irritated. I looked through my values and I found out that something must make sense. Otherwise, I really don't value that so much. So I needed to ask my hubby, please, please, please tell me, why are you doing this? And when he told me he sharpens his mind with the German lessons, then I knew that made so much sense, and now it's a source of inspiration. So to summarize, reflect deeper on your core values, share and discuss your values with others, affirm and act and decide, keeping your values in mind, and tune into your emotions. And that is the challenge that I set for you. Dig deeper into your values. Thank you.